This summer, the World Cup is being played across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And by the time the final whistle blows, FIFA expects to walk away with about $8.9 billion. The cities whose names are on the posters, the ones throwing the party, will see almost none of it. They just pay the bills. So here is the real question nobody puts on the brochure. What does it actually cost a city to host the World Cup? Because the answer is not a ticket price or a stadium budget. The answer is that the host is set up to lose on purpose every single time. Let me show you how that works. For most of its history, the World Cup was run by a local committee that paid the costs but also shared in the rewards. Not anymore. For the first time, FIFA is running the tournament itself, dealing directly with host cities. And under that arrangement, it keeps essentially all of the money. The television deals, the sponsorships, the tickets, the hospitality, all of it flows to FIFA. Across the full 4-year cycle, it expects a record of around $13 billion, up from the $11 billion it first budgeted. Think of it like a franchise. FIFA owns the brand. The cities pay to run the show, and the owner keeps the receipts. Out of the tournament's roughly $9 billion, FIFA hands the 48 teams a record $871 million and keeps the rest for itself. So what lands on the host instead? Start with the United States, where 11 cities are staging matches. Security alone was so expensive that the federal government stepped in with a historic $625 million in grants just to help cover it. And that is only the part Washington paid. Each individual host city is looking at costs that, in the words of one economist, can run well over $100 million. Police, transport, stadium work, fan zones, all on the city's tab. Now here is the trap. FIFA contracts let it sell the sponsors, the ads, the broadcast rights, while the cities are largely walled off from raising money the same way. So even with federal help, the 11 American host cities are facing a combined shortfall of up to $250 million. They are not running a profit. They are managing a loss. And if you think that is just American excess, look north. Canada is hosting only 13 of the 104 games, split between Vancouver and Toronto. 2 cities, 13 matches. Canada's own independent budget office added up the real number, and it is more than $1 billion Canadian dollars, roughly $775 million in US money, across all levels of government. Break that down and it comes to about $82 million Canadian dollars per game. For a single football match, the public is spending the price of a small hospital wing. And that figure comes straight from the government's own accountants, not from a critic. Here is the part that hits you directly, even if you never buy a ticket. This is the first World Cup to use what is called dynamic pricing, where the price floats with demand, the way airline seats do. The result: a ticket that starts at $60 can climb to as much as $7,875 for a seat at the final. And FIFA even takes a cut when fans resell to each other. Then there is the quiet stuff. In New Jersey, a train ride to the stadium that normally costs about $13 was first priced at $150. After public outrage, it was cut to $98, with the gap filled not by FIFA, but by taxpayers and local sponsors. 2 state governors ended up competing to subsidize the travel costs of a private organization. You are paying for this World Cup whether you attend or not. So step back and look at the whole machine. FIFA arrives, collects about $8.9 billion, hands the teams about $871 million, and flies home. The city is left holding the security, the transport, the stadium upgrades, and the bill. And there is a reason FIFA can push so hard. A local sports team needs its fans to come back next season, so it cannot squeeze them too far. FIFA has no such worry. It will not return to the same country for 30 or 40 years, so it can charge the very top price today and never face the consequences tomorrow. The costs are written into the contract. The revenue is written out of it. That is not a city getting unlucky. That is the deal working exactly as designed. But surely the host makes it back in tourism and spending. That is the promise. The evidence is brutal. New York City's own financial watchdog ran the numbers. Even if every single visitor FIFA predicted actually showed up, the city would collect at most around $55 million in extra taxes, against roughly $70 million in new costs. That is a loss of about $15 million on paper in the most optimistic case. And New York is not unusual. Researchers at the University of Toronto found that 12 of the last 14 World Cups left their host regions worse off, not better. We have even seen this exact movie before. When the United States last hosted, back in 1994, the actual economic boost came in somewhere between $5.5 and $9.3 billion below what was promised. The boom that gets advertised has a long history of simply not arriving. So what does it really cost to host the World Cup? More than the city admits and far more than it will ever get back. The month of football is real. The roar of the crowd, the flags, the strangers hugging in the street, none of that is fake and none of it is worthless. But in pure money terms, the host city is the one party at the table that is guaranteed to lose. FIFA keeps the billions. The fans pay the premium. The taxpayer covers the gap. And the prestige goes to the politicians who signed the deal and will be long gone before the bills are paid. The World Cup is one of the greatest shows on earth. It is also one of the worst financial bargains a city can sign. FIFA will not be back in this part of the world for another 30 or 40 years. The host cities will be paying for this one long before then. Subscribe for the next number nobody bothers to add up, and the sources for this one are all in the description.